Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum. This is finished off in Scarlet Red with an MSRP just over $54,000. Now this model also has the two-tone exterior with the gloss black roof, which is a really nice touch. Powering this Pathfinder, you'll find the 3.5-liter V6 that's paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 284 horsepower, 259 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the full-time four-wheel drive system. This weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds with a top speed of 119 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 18.5 gallons. You'll expect to see around 20 miles per gallon in the city, 25 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 114.2 inches. Its overall length is 197.7. It has a width of 77.9, a height of 70.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 7.1 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Pathfinder, you'll notice for this Platinum Edition, the entire grille is finished off in chrome for the surround with gloss black for the center portion. Very large Nissan badge with white letters, and there's even a forward-facing camera tucked up underneath one of those slats for the grille, which has plenty of openings to provide a lot of cooling to that engine. Now this also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. I really like how they slope with the actual bodywork. Going right up to the hood there, it blends in very, very nicely with the bodywork separating part of the housing there. In the lower section, there's parking sensors along with the fog lights, even a sensor for the adaptive cruise and the distance pacing. There's another trim accent in the lower section as well as the air dam, and then some clean lines that come down both sides of the hood. Now as we work our way to the side, this model gets a set of 20-inch wheels with that multi-spoke design and the two-tone finish. You'll notice Pathfinder is stamped in the lower section of the side skirt there. This also has power folding side mirrors. They're gloss black, there's a turn signal and a camera system as well. Full panoramic sunroof with the gloss black roof racks that match the rest of that roof. There's more gloss black in the upper section and then chrome in the lower section. It has a really nice design to it from the side. For being a 3-row vehicle, I think the proportions are great. There is some plastic for the fender arches as well as the lower section of the side skirt there. And then as we work our way to the rear, the spoiler is gloss black. There's a third brake light along with the wiper blade. This does have LED taillights as well. Backup camera with all of the sensors, more of that brush trim in that lower bumper along with the sensors there. And this can even tow right around 6,000 pounds. So pretty adequate for the functionality of this vehicle. But let's fire it up now because it does have remote start. And you will hear it come to life. All you have to do is hold on this top button. You can do that to shut it off as well. From there we can unlock it. We can use the button on the liftgate itself or the button on the key fob to gain access to the rear cargo space. So currently I have the third row down where there's a decent amount of space. You have a 12 volt on one side, some hooks on both sides too, and then underneath the back, look at how deep this compartment is where you could place a lot more items and hide them out of the way. So if you don't have a third row passengers, you have a lot of space. However, if you do have third row passengers, these are manual rear seats. So once you grab the strap, you can lock these into place. You just grab this release handle to fold them down. You still have a decent amount of space. So whether you have third row passengers or not, you really don't have any complaints with the storage. Up top, you can lock it. The one on the left side will just close that power lift gate. Now, a convenience feature I love is that you can unlock the vehicle from the back door handles. So if you're putting in your kids or you just need access to the back, you don't have to go to the front door panel. Now, for the interior, we have the brown leather. This does have the adjustable sunshade, so you can use it as needed. We have cup holder storage space, more storage in the lower section, and then even more basically where the grab handle is, which I think is a great design. Now, as we move on to the interior, you get captain's chairs for the second row. They have adjustable armrests and they can move forwards and backwards. But let's jump to the third row first. A quick and easy way to do that, just by pushing on that button, it will pop up and slide forwards. You can move it slightly more if you need to. And we have the mini staircase leading into the back. Now, this is a 3-row bench style seat for your third row passengers. It is a little bit tight. but you have some auxiliaries, cup holders, even an armrest. You can also remove this part right here, which we had out, so that we could have a little bit more leg room for your middle person here or for a leg on each side. So it's nice that that is removable, and then it's just as easy to hop back out. And then I can fold the seat back down to where it goes, and we can check out the second row seating. Plenty of space up here, of course. We have climate adjustments. These are even heated, so you have all of your adjustments there, even more auxiliaries. And then you can recline, incline, move these seats forwards and backwards, so you can give those people in the back a lot more leg room, which is nice. And then we have that armrest like I showed earlier. So probably where you want to be for this Pathfinder. Very spacious. And then you have cup holders and more storage space right in the middle if you need to utilize that. And then storage pockets too for those extra items. Now the front door panel is just like the rear. However, there's all the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding. There's even some other seating adjustments, basically your memory seats that you can push on. It will set it up where you have it set, of course. Really cool trim accent just underneath that grab handle, and more storage space down below. And then we have the same design for these front seats. It's a low SUV, so it's very easy to enter and exit. And then for the steering wheel, it's finished off in leather. We have some more trim accents. Left side, there's volume along with tuning. You can use these to go through the gauge cluster. Right side, there's also Bluetooth and voice commands, and then the cruise control settings along with distance pacing, and you even have your blind spot and lane keeping that you can activate. Let's fire this up though. We can bring this to life now and go through the rest of this information. This also has paddle shifters, which is nice to see. So for the digital gauge cluster, TAC is on the left side along with the engine temperature, fuel levels on the right side with the miles per hour, and then right in the middle you have more information to go through. Using that rotary dial on the left side, there's a blank page that you can look at, and then we can also pull up the compass there. If I scroll over, there's some more computer information that you can look at, even the TPMS. You can look at your start and stop, and then the four-wheel drive system. There's a compass, of course. You have your music, the speed limit recognition. You can pull up your distance pacing, and then even look at your blind spot and your lane keeping assist, along with the forward collision. So you can push on this button here to turn those on and off, which is really quick and easy to do. And then we can also go into the menu there, and we are back to settings that you can go into to configure this the way that you would like to. And then you can also change the entire gauge cluster setup just by pushing on this button in the lower section. You can bring up some more information, and change meter view is how you can do that. So you can minimize the TAC and the miles per hour on both sides, and now you can scroll through all of this information in more of a full screen. So if you need to see it a little bit better, you have the option to do that. And then you can also go through a few other settings, which is really nice to see. Now on the left side, there's a dimmer switch. This also has the steering assist. We have the lift gate along with the head-up display. So you can turn that on and off basically. It just shows miles per hour and the speed limit sign. More of that brush trim and leather surrounds one air vent. And then right in the middle, we have the touchscreen system where you have a good bit of info. Power and volume for the radio and tuning are physical buttons. And then within this, we have the phone, all of the radio adjustments. You can go into your settings to configure this as needed. If we go into menu now, we have the home screen where you can put some icons. We have a few other that you can customize too, and then a few more on this third page. So really whatever you'd like to see on these three, you can customize it the way that you would like to. We can pull up the map, bring that up in full screen. If we go back to menu by using one of the physical buttons, you can get back into the rest of this information. You can pull up the camera, and this will pull up the forward-facing camera with the top-down view. If I push on it one more time, we even have the side mirror on the passenger side, so you can see that tire, and then the backup camera too. So it's really cool to see that. If I put the vehicle into reverse now the backup camera will appear, and then we still have that same angle over on the passenger side. But it's very helpful to give you that amount of visibility, especially since you can lean over the driver's side. That gives you that blind spot visibility. Two air vents are underneath that. And then we have all of the climate adjustments. This does have heated and ventilated seats, temperature dials, fan speed, where you like the air to go. You can even get into the rear climate adjustments, so you can adjust those from up front. And there's the heated steering wheel too. Now underneath that, wireless charging pad along with a lot of auxiliaries in the back there, so that way you can charge even more electronics. A little bit of space in front of 2 cup holders. And then on the left side for the shifter, if I push the release on the left side and go forwards, that is for reverse, of course. You don't actually have to use that to go into drive. It is simply just for reverse. And then park is located up top. Now behind that, there's a parking brake, auto hold, and the engine start stop feature. And then several different driving modes. Those will adjust in the gauge cluster where there's tow. There's also sport, eco, auto, snow, which is currently unavailable, of course, because it is not snowing out. We have mud and ruts, and then sand too. So it just depends on how you are driving this. There's a downhill assist control right in the middle. Pathfinder is stamped in the center armrest where there is plenty of space for all of those items. There's even a small storage bin just above the passenger glove box. You can place your phone there, small lip so nothing will slide out, and then the glove box for the rest of that information. Like I mentioned, full panoramic sunroof and a lot of visibility. It's very, very open on the interior. Up top are the adjustments for that sunshade and sunroof. There's dome lights, even a sunglass holder, which is really convenient to have. And then quick look over the left shoulder, just as easy to see out. As we set off now behind the wheel for this Nissan Pathfinder, we've had a few of these for the channel to review. My brother has checked out all of those, so this is my first time behind the wheel actually driving the Pathfinder. He has a lot more seat time, been on long road trips, 9 hours at a time with it. So if you want to see some road trip videos, be sure to search for those and check those out for the Pathfinder. But my initial impressions, I've been driving this $54,000 Pathfinder around for the last few days, and I really like it. For that money, I think that you're getting a lot. You're not getting a lot of bells and whistles. Nissan doesn't really have all of that extra or the more advanced, I would say, technology, but it gives you everything that you need without going overboard. And I like it. I like the simplicity of it, but the tech that is offered, including the distance pacing, the forward collision, lane keeping assist, even the steering intervention there. So I'm impressed with it. I really like what it has to offer for that price point. Not really too expensive for what you're getting out of this vehicle. And I currently have it in sport mode right now. So we will pop it into the manual setting so we can use these shifters. And from second gear, we can give it a little bit of gas. Now, don't expect this to get up and move, but that wasn't bad for the acceleration that I can do right now. But as far as driving this, it's so comfortable and quiet. It's really enjoyable to drive. If you want something that is practical for the amount of people that you transport, if you want to tow a little bit with it, and you just want to be nice and relaxed, it's a comforting vehicle to be behind the wheel. Now there's a few other trim levels, of course, for the Pathfinder. So if this is maybe a little outside your budget, you can go with a lower trim level and it's still going to give you that great ride. And all the materials are very nice. We even have a massive storage bin underneath, which I forgot to mention earlier. So for the type of vehicle this is, you can stuff everything in all of the nooks and crannies and have a spot for everything to be designated to. And from second gear, here we go. So that's ringing out just a little bit more, and it got up to speed fine. Paddles seem pretty responsive, so if you need to use them, they are there, which is nice. Not a whole lot of get up and go, but for this style and this type of vehicle, I think it is definitely very adequate. So what it's like to be behind the wheel of this mid $50,000 Pathfinder, you'll notice a nice interior. It's very premium feeling without that premium price tag. So 54, 55 grand is still a lot of money, but for the interior vibe that it has, it seems more luxurious than the price that it's at, if that makes sense. So you're not in a $70,000, $80,000 SUV, but it looks like it could be on par for significantly less. We do have some plastic trim accents in some areas, but you'll see that across the board with other brands too. And as far as this handles, just on some normal roads, it's nice. Like I said, very comfortable and smooth. So you could definitely have this as a daily driver, rack up a ton of miles on it, and use it for the purposes of being a full-size, basically 3-row SUV. But that is going to wrap it up for today's walk around and review. Again, if you want to see more videos with a Pathfinder, the mountain trip that my brother did, or the long road trip that my brother did, check out that video and a few of the other videos, even taking it off the pavement a little bit to see how some of those settings do. Be sure to check out those separate videos. But if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.